Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So people put me in a very difficult position. But I'm very good at moving wisely when I'm in a very difficult position. So when I look at the world, I see children. I'm the type of guy who gets along with everybody. I wish the children had a bright future on a planet where people love them. I care about them, but I have to put justice first. I was engaged to a woman who was white and probably part Jewish. I'm not racist. But when you look at what's going on and how people break down in groups, by race for the most part, you see it in cities, you see it with religions to a large degree, you see what's going on. How society has denied the Son of God true love. True romantic love, that is. And I'm 44 years old. Regardless of how I feel about it personally, and I'm not happy, that's for sure, I have to be concerned with justice. There are white people and Jewish people in my family in their own way without even saying anything, without me even seeing them, per se. Their spirits are calling for mercy. The people who you might think of as the most polite and reasonable in society, to some degree, they're begging for mercy. But what is mercy without justice? What is mercy without loving the righteous? How long, sovereign Lord, holy and true, before you judge the inhabitants of the earth and avenge our blood? Revelation 6, I might be a little off about the quote, but that's what it's saying. They sort of fume me a certain way today. The people with the radon removal came today, and who knows what all they were up to. And in my shoes, you have to be suspicious of everyone. I'm the King of Kings, and I don't have a personal guard or something. I have to look out for myself. I'm not afraid. I don't let fear or anger cloud my judgment. The verdicts I give are fair. And to make matters more strange, more interesting, what have you, whenever I show mercy to, say, whites, Jews, and LGBT people, the people who are assigned to run a psyop on me, because they want me to kind of go on and on about how angry I am with these groups, so they turn it up on me and cause me to be angry shortly after. So for example, I fully expect these people to turn it up on me after I finish this video because I'm being very cordial. I'm speaking in a way that is soothing regardless if they change my voice or not. And so they don't like to see that, or that's their job to interfere, or both. They see it as their job to interfere, they're told to interfere, what have you. As we look at the mark of the beast, right, and how it pertains to the market, and what's remarkable, and marking the boundaries, right, market, remarkable, marking the boundaries, your marks in school. We see that there are people who are concerned with who people are pretending to be the most successful. So in other words, these celebrities aren't so impressive, right? But people are pretending. And they want it all to come together a certain way, and they want to be able to exploit the system. Psychologically, financially, sexually, you name it. It's very sad. Whenever I say the word sexually, they tend to kind of change my voice. There's something to do with the brain hacking and the fumes. They seem to be mostly concerned with how I say things, right? And it goes back to the craft. Freemasonry is known as the craft. I'm not a Freemason. But there are people in groups like that who try to make it so people do things a certain way so they can pretend to be the masters at life. And from what I gather, and from my research, people see through it. When I ask people questions, I see that they see through it. It's really stupid. But they're very much focused on that idea. So when it comes to punishing people fairly, If this was Nazi Germany and the Nazis were the main people persecuting me, would you want me to punish them to the same degree as everyone else? Or would you want me to punish them according to their deeds as a group and as individuals? So I have to make that difficult decision in a society that likes to pretend that they're combating racism, what have you, but they're not doing such a good job. They say things like, well, you wouldn't want whites, Jews, and LGBT people to do that to you. And again, I'm not racist. I bend over backwards to be fair with everyone, as the saying goes. I try so hard. I stress so much over the idea that people might think that I'm racist or too harsh. I spend a lot of time thinking about that. Because I'm the King of Kings. And I'm very righteous. I don't have some kind of, obsession with hating, any race or hating the LGBT community. I simply do what is fair and just and right. And so I urge everyone, especially people from the white, Jewish, and LGBT communities, I urge them to scramble to do what is right. Right now, in the area right now, I have a family member who is Jewish by religion, who's married to a Jewish gentleman, and they have a black eye right now that I know the government caused. But that's not why I'm making this video. I'm willing to sacrifice everyone on this planet, including that person. They might even have just heard me say that right now. I do what is fair and just and right. And sometimes it's awkward. Sometimes it's heartbreaking to see that people don't want to admit these things to themselves. I don't think people understand the situation here. Certainly if you think that I'm doing something wrong, you don't understand the situation. I have to do what is fair and just and right no matter what. And I'm 44 years old in fairly bad health. My parents could die any day. They're really old. My father will be 80 years old soon. When you look at this situation, I may as well be on my deathbed. But even if I was just 5 years old and I thought I would live to be 200, I'd do the same thing. So I urge you all to think very carefully before you misjudge me, so that hopefully you don't misjudge me. Because it is important for you to see me for who I am, the Son of God, the one God sent to lead you and to judge you. Now, some of you might say, well, why? Because as you live your lives, you have to do what is right. Say, for example, in Paul's letters in the Bible, it says, don't be fooled. Those of you who live in a way that is sinful are not going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Those of you who are unrepentant sinners, who aren't keeping the greatest commandment, who don't scramble to obey God with all your heart, are not going to heaven. A lot of people don't want to hear this. But as it stands, almost every single person on this planet is going to hell. And in recent days, everyone who has died recently has not made it to heaven. And I know that is extremely controversial. It can hurt people to the extreme in some cases. But that is the truth. God is not the type of person who's joking around. He created sharks and lions and tigers. He created warfare and death and famine and plague. Surely you know that the situation is more serious than people who don't take life serious are acting like it is.